All right. So we're waiting for the bread to rise, and now.
No, we're waiting for the bread to finish resting for 30 minutes.
Okay, don't listen to me, guys. We're waiting.
So we have about 10 minutes left in our 30 minutes. And I'm going and I'm feeding Mother.
The mother is feeding the mother.
So I take all-purpose flour and I put it in my
Here, I'll show you guys.
jar. I use because we have such a large jar, I use a chopstick to mix. And I always put my flour in first and start incorporating it. And I don't measure, I just eyeball. And what you're supposed to do for as much starter as we use, we have to replace. So I've put in quite a bit of flour. I have some water in a bowl, and I am now pouring in some water in, and I am mixing it, and it's already doing a nice bubble.
Oh gosh, I just.
And Tori made the mistake of really sticking her nose in it earlier to smell it. And
No, I just got a little bit.
but earlier you smelled it.
I know. I'll smell it again just so y'all can see my crazy faces.
Nice, strong, fermented starter, and it works lovely.
Yeah.
And then I've made a top for our mother out of parchment paper that I lay on top, and then I seal it with a rubber band.
I'll smell it again, and then you can get my really crazy faces.
I'm just gonna give it a little more water here.
How do you know? How do you know? It's
I
like,
just do it by feel, Tori. I don't.
you're like a dash of this, a dash of that. That feels good.
I
thanks.
just, like I
Okay.
said, I eyeball it. It's thick, almost a little bit thicker than. It's thicker than half and half in cream, but not quite as thick as a milkshake is the best way for me to explain it.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We'll do another smelling, and you can see what I mean.
Okay, so this is nice and stirred.
Oh my gosh.
The flour's pretty well
It's
incorporated,
very
and that's why I like to
odoriferous.
do the flour first to get it in there, and then so when I add my liquid, I've gotten most of the clumps out of it.
All right, we'll give you guys a nice little.
They can't.
Oh, you're okay, guys. Sorry, camera angles. Clearly, there's something I'm better at, and being a camera person is.
So there's the mother. It definitely has
It's stinky.
I'm putting, the mother is now done for the day. Like I said, I use all-purpose flour and water for mother. The rest of the bread is we use bread flour because of the high protein, so you get a more glutinous loaf of bread.
Yeah,
So.
I love you, Mom, but I don't need to make a mother. I don't need to make a starter.
Okay.
It's all you
And
guys. You enjoy.
The other thing is the starter keeps on giving. So what I've poured off, I've started another starter, another mother. You can also just keep pouring into something and make pancakes. Or you can give
With
the
the
starter
mother? With the mother.
with what is poured off.
Oh, okay.
Or you can give to friends. Anybody who wants to make their own sourdough but doesn't want to make the starter, whatever you pour off, pour it into a jar, give it to someone else, let them start feeding mother and coming up
Don't
with their
smell
own.
the mother.
Coming up
Don't
with their
smell
own-
the mother.
Their own starter. The other thing you can do is if you're not going to make bread on a regular basis, feed mother for a couple of days, and when it's after you've made your first loaf of bread or two, take mother and you can put her in the refrigerator and then feed her about once a week. Or
But she stays in the fridge, right?
normally she stays on my counter if I'm going to make bread once a week or whatever.
Okay.
But otherwise, if we're not going to make bread for a while, she's in the refrigerator. But she's been in the refrigerator for a while. We took her out a couple weeks ago and started feeding her so that we can make a lovely loaf of bread today.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, there's how you add more to the mother, but don't smell the mother.
Well, Tori doesn't smell.
I'm not smelling the mother. I smelled her 3 times today. Once before the video, I got an accidental whiff while Mom was stirring that. And then just to show you my terrible faces, I did it once during the video. And like, I think I'm at my mother smelling quota for the year. All right, guys.